an equivalent of 7 books a week, and the following five were my most favorite this week. So let's start with Crush It. Why Now is the Time to Cash In on Your Passion by Gary Vaynerchuk. I've been obsessed with Vaynerchuk recently. He's as brutally honest on stage as he's successful. From Vayner Media, wine, his brand, and various investments in, for instance, Facebook and Uber, he has amassed a fortune of over 200 million USD. This book presents his life story, plus extremely concrete advice on becoming successful as an entrepreneur yourself. Hint, hint, it is producing valuable content very often and obsessing over your customers. And all links to these are in the description and show notes. The next one is On the Genealogy of Morals by Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche is a very hard read, I can warn you that, but it is well worth it. One of the most brilliant minds in history gives a compelling argument that good and evil are relative in terms of what society wants in. So, for instance, if society values a certain kind of morals, these are good, but the opposite is evil. He differs between master morality and slave morality, and the latter is mostly exemplified by Christianity, which Nietzsche criticizes heavily. Furthermore, he argues that we all do not want to seek the truth, but rather has the will to power, and we want to gain it for ourselves, according to Nietzsche. And the second book from Nietzsche is the classic Beyond Good and Evil. And you have to read and listen to this book if you're into philosophy. It will give you many counter arguments towards established philosophers. And skeptic as Nietzsche is, he elaborates all the topics I mentioned before in the previous book, and through his aphorisms and brilliant but insanely hard writing style, he outlines that dispossessed people, which is slave morality according to him, also want power by denying life and society. And Nietzsche does not think it's a good idea. Rather, you should embrace what you have right now and make the best of it, which I completely agree, by the way. In the end, Nietzsche preaches for amor fati, which is a willingness to accept and enjoy whatever comes to you. This solves the dichotomies. And I'm personally a big fan of Nietzsche, and if you like my videos and episodes so far, I think you will like him too. The dedicated time will be worth it, I promise. The last book is Less Doing and More Living by Ari Mason. Ari Mason is often regarded as the most productive man on earth. Although it is not a complete fact per se, I have to admit that he's truly a productive individual. He managed a 7 figure business, which is a lot, by working only 2 hours per week. So if standard people work on 40 hours a week, he works in only a 20th, or rather a 10th or 40th. I can't do math right now. Per week. I am obsessed with productivity, so I immediately listen to his advice. The general theme is optimizing, automating, and outsourcing almost everything. What was new to me was the various recommendations on setting up automatic workflows, something I will learn more about and share with all of you. And lastly, of all this video, I want to recommend Gary Vaynerchuk's channel because I mentioned in the beginning that I've become a big fan of him. And he's an incredible motivational speaker who never refrains from saying the blunt truth. The main message is to work dedicatedly as much as possible, leverage the internet and social media, and lastly, but most important, be extremely patient. Expect that it can take up to 6 to 10 years before your hard work pays off in a very big way. It might sound scary, I know, but it's liberating. With this perspective, you can stop being desperate and manipulative, which people do not like, and start producing the best value in a completely authentic, selfless, and generous manner, which people love. I am personally only 3 months in on my entrepreneurial journey as of this video and episode, but if I follow his advice, which I strive to do, I can also make the total living financially sustainable in 6 years and probably 2,000 blog posts later. It might happen much earlier, but that is not as important. What is important is to produce the best articles, videos, and episodes and advice possible that is fulfilling for all of us.